Okay, so we finished our warm-up, just 1 mile. You can see I'm already sweating pretty well. And this goes to... Good morning, everybody. We've got a pretty humid morning today. Not too hot. It's about 75 degrees, but much like I talked about in yesterday's video, the humidity is pretty rough right now. And we are out to do our first threshold workout for the Chicago Marathon that will be running in 2022. And I do my threshold workouts maybe a little bit different than some people are used to or used to seeing. I worked with a coach that I've mentioned a few times before, uses methods created and kind of, I guess, coached by Coach Jack Daniels, very famous running coach. And what I'm going to be doing today is actually threshold mile repeats. So I'll explain a little bit more what that is. Basically, we're going to be doing 1 mile at threshold at a time. And we're going to do 3 reps today. 1 mile warm up right now, 1 mile cool down at the end, equaling 5 total miles. And in between each 1 mile rep of threshold pace, we'll have 1 minute of rest. So 1 mile threshold, 1 minute rest, a very quick turnaround into another mile at threshold, 1 minute rest, quickly into that last mile at threshold, and then into a cool down. So that's how I like to do it. That worked well for me in the past. It's a little different than a continuous threshold run or something like that, but I do like to do it this way. Okay, so we finished our warm-up, just 1 mile. You can see I'm already sweating pretty well. And this goes to what I said yesterday, you know, sometimes in this heat and humidity, you have to adjust your pacing a little bit. So we'll see. I'm out here looking for a threshold pace somewhere between like 8:05, 8:10 most likely. I think that's in line with what my current fitness would be. I haven't really raced in, I don't know, quite a few months, honestly. The half marathons I ran even were kind of just all thrown together. So they were very tight. I was a little tired. I think the last real half marathon I got in was way back with the New York City half. And I've just been doing fun runs and things since. The mountain race was a real race, but that doesn't really help gauge my current fitness. So we'll go for 8:05 to 8:10. We're out here on the Empire Rail Trail. It's a good spot for me to get this done. It's fairly flat up ahead where I'm gonna be running. And we'll just do, you know, again, like I said, 1 mile at a time, come back, go back again, and then we'll be able to cool down and head back to the car. So that's the plan. See if I can hold on to this 8:05, 8:10 range. Give it a try. Down a little bit fast on that one actually, and that was actually the slightly uphill direction, so feeling a little winded. I only have a minute recovery. Keeping track in my head, probably should slow down just a bit. Just catching my breath. About 40 seconds left of rest. We're right back in the other direction with another threshold mile. Feeling good, close to pace, close to where I want to be. We'll talk more at the end. About 30 seconds. definitely humid. Remember what I said yesterday about the shirt just sticking once you get really wet from sweat in this humidity. See how much water is in my shirt when I wring it out right now. That immediately feels so much better to wring it out and get some air back into the shirt. That's a bonus tip from yesterday about running in the heat and humidity. Wring out the sweat in your clothes every once in a while, and it feels like a fresh new shirt compared to how soaked it was before. So just wrapping up the cool down, and then we'll head inside and Then we'll head inside and I'll show you the detailed paces from today's workout. All right, so we're quickly going to go over the threshold mile paces that I hit for each of the 3 reps for the 3x1 mile at threshold pace. And, overall, I found that my Garmin, is telling me that I am right within the range I should be. And it'll help me sustain harder workouts for longer periods of time. So, that's Garmin's way of saying you essentially did a threshold pace workout, and that's, promising to see that I fell within the range. I also personally just felt like my heart rate was right where I would like it to be. It was hovering right in the low 160s, which for me is a good effort, a good threshold effort. I wasn't seeing myself climb right through the 160s. The pace I was going was holding steady at about 162 to 164, 165 beats per minute. And then just in the 3rd rep, it started to climb a little bit closer to the 170s. And I think at one point it did max out just crossing 170, but overall it was nice and level during those 3 workout periods that I had at each of the 3 1-mile reps. The paces themselves came out to 7:51, 7:56, and 7:51, which again is a little faster than I mentioned initially, but I do think that I'm just, maybe sold myself a little short in the beginning. This still felt like appropriate pacing that I could maintain, that was appropriately threshold level, and you'll feel it out for yourself as you do threshold runs. You kind of find where you settle in, and it's unique for everybody, it's individual for your fitness, but I think I settled in right where I needed to be, and it was very consistent and sustainable from a workout perspective. So that's it for today. We're going to have some fun on Sunday this weekend during our 12-mile long run. If I didn't mention it already, we're going to be doing a club group run. So I'll be out there with a bunch of people in New York City doing a 3-bridge run. I think it's going to be like 3 bridges, a few parks and things like that. We'll cover 12-mile total across Manhattan, Brooklyn, and possibly Queens. So we'll stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't already down below. Look forward to hearing from you all in the comments. Hope to see you all in the next video.